video, we are going to learn about pinealoma and the science associated with pinealoma. Okay, so pinealoma is tumor of the pineal gland. Okay, this topic is under brain tumors. Why I picked this topic? Because this topic has some signs which are very difficult to remember. So I'll make it easier to remember. Okay, so this topic is basically asked in a competitive exam. So that is why, and we find it very hard to remember the specific science in this topic. So that is why I've taken this topic. Okay, so pinealoma, that is the tumor of the pineal gland. Okay, so the signs are all related to the compression of structures around this pineal gland. Okay, so which are the structures basically getting compressed is this dorsal midbrain and aqueduct of Sylvius and superior cerebellar peduncle. The cerebellar peduncle, the aqueduct of Sylvius, and your dorsal part of midbrain. Okay, let's see first the dorsal part of midbrain, which is very important. Okay, the first structure to get compressed in a pinealoma. Okay, so first in this dorsal part of midbrain, the first there are two structures further which are compressed. Okay, so one of them is your posterior commissure and another one is a pretector area. Okay, let's see. So this posterior commissure is related to your very important syndrome associated with this pinealoma is your Parinod syndrome. Yeah, Parinod syndrome. So this Parinod syndrome is because of compression of the posterior commissure. Okay, so this is a section of midbrain. Okay, and you can see the posterior commissure. Okay, so this posterior commissure, what is this having? So this posterior commissure is having your vertical gaze center. Yeah, it's the vertical gaze center. Okay, now we have already seen conjugate gaze deviation, which is a very important localizing sign in strokes. It is present in pons, and this is midbrain. Okay, which is above pons. So this midbrain, that is the posterior commissure of midbrain, is having the vertical gaze center. Okay, now what happens in this vertical gaze center is, I'm just explaining it conceptually so that you understand that why there's a vertical gaze palsy, okay, and why there's a downward gaze. So the vertical gaze center, this is a conceptual explanation. It's not like that, but just a conceptually, I'm explaining that in this vertical gaze center, the fibers which are for the eyes to look upward are on the surface, okay, and the fibers which are to look downward are deeper. So when the pinealoma compresses this vertical gaze center, it is going to compress your fibers which are for looking upward. So, but these fibers are spared. Okay, so the upward fibers are affect compressed, but the downward gaze fibers are spared. Okay, so that is why the eyes are going to naturally look downwards. Okay, so the gaze is going to be downwards. Okay, now if you remember from somewhere, you have already heard about this eyes looking downward, and it is also known as a setting sun sign. Yeah. So what is the setting sun sign? It is seen in your hydrocephalus because as an increase in the pressure, CSF pressure, it is going to compress these gaze fibers. Okay. So I hope this Parinod syndrome, that is a vertical gaze palsy, is clear. Why the eyes are forced to look downward, why the eyes cannot look upward, because the fibers for looking upward are compressed. Okay. Now another important topic is the Collier sign. Okay, so this posterior commissure, okay, is inhibiting the levator palpebrae superioris. Okay, so now this posterior commissure is compressed, so its inhibition to the levator palpebrae superioris is gone. Okay, so this levator palpebrae superioris is now overstimulated. So that is why there is a, okay, now levator palpebrae superioris, what does it do? Okay, it actually retracts your upper eyelid. So that is why there is a bilateral upper eyelid retraction. Okay, so these are the two signs which are associated with the compression of posterior commissure of dorsal midbrain. Okay. Now let's see the second area in this dorsal midbrain, that is the pretectal area. Now this pretectal area is having the light reflex pathway. Okay, light reflex pathway. So this pretectal area is compressed, so the light reflex pathway is compressed, so light reflex is absent. Okay, but the accommodation reflex pathway is ventral to it, so it is spared. So light reflex present, light reflex absent, accommodation reflex is present. So this is heard somewhere. Yeah, we have heard somewhere in syphilis. We have something called as the Argyll Robertson pupil, right? So this is Argyll, yeah, this is Argyll Robertson pupil, but this is a pseudo Argyll Robertson pupil because in syphilis, the Argyll Robertson pupil has a constricted pupil, yeah, constricted pupil. But here the pupil is normal. That is why this is a pseudo Argyll Robertson pupil. Okay. So light reflex is absent and accommodation reflex is present is actually because of the compression of the pretectal area. So here we have the the light reflex fibers are traveling through this posterior commissure. Next structure which is compressed is the aqueduct of Sylvius. Now this is actually going to increase the pressure in the CSF. Okay, so that is why there is a headache, nausea, vomiting, papilloedema. So this is obstructive hydrocephalus. Okay. And then the last structure which is compressed is your superior cerebellar peduncle. Okay. So that will cause the ataxia. Okay.